Hello and welcome back to the Super Swiss. So we are actually the Swiss. We control Switzerland. Now what? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a step back. We're going to think about what we wanted to do at the beginning of the series and then move on from there. So at the beginning of the series, the first thing we wanted to do was create the Swiss Confederation. Have we done that? Yes, we have Switzerland. Cool. Goal number 1 done. Goal number 2 was to become independent. Now, why do we want to do that and not just become the Holy Roman Emperor? Well, the reason is quite simple. I have a ton of games on my channel which are all, we became the Holy Roman Emperor. And from that point onwards, the series is pretty much the same. We play as the Holy Roman Emperor and we start painting the map white. I've done that enough times. What I think would be more interesting is creating an independent nation which can stand alongside, well in this case it'd be alongside France, the Holy Roman Empire and England as like a strong independent nation. So that's what I want to do. In order to do that, what we need to do is we need to create independent strength, as in power which is purely invested within Switzerland, which allows us to kind of punch above our weight a little bit. At least in terms of land to power ratios, because one of the easiest ways to get power in this game, as you can probably see, is just becoming very big. Talking about very big, Ruthenia. Massive. Wonder how long that's going to last before a revolt takes them down. Anyway, back over to Switzerland. What are we going to do to become more powerful? What are we going to do to create this independent power I want? Well, one suggestion is that we have a look at our men-at-arms. Now, men-at-arms cost us an amount per month, so I don't feel like we should create them right now. But if we were to create a bunch of men-at-arms, we could have a strong, powerful nation, so like, you know, or a strong, powerful army for a nation with 43 damage armored footmen with high toughness, or maybe we go with horsemen who are good at killing enemies in the retreat phase. I think that's pursuit. So you know when the enemies are running away, that's the stat which determines how many of them you're going to actually permanently take out. And then screen is the opposite. That's how many of your troops you could just leave with. So we could create an army which is designed around being able to kind of do guerrilla tactics, where you wait for a small army, attack it, beat it down, see a larger army come, and then just retreat. We could do something like that. That could be interesting. We could also just, you know, go for solid troops which don't cost too much. There's a whole bunch of things we can do at men-at-arms. The problem I have is still that monthly cost. Now, what do I think we should do then? I think we should create a large war chest, like, you know, a couple thousand gold, and we just keep that. And we wait and we wait and we wait, and when we think that we're just about ready to actually declare a war, what we do then is we go, okay, I'm going to buy a ton of men-at-arms and we're going to build them up. As far as I know, you don't really get a benefit for just holding on to men-at-arms. They don't get some experience or anything. They're just kind of there. So there's no benefit to getting them earlier, as far as I know. One other thing is there's actually probably a benefit to getting them later. If we have a look at our culture and our tech, you'll see that there are things like trebuchets where we can recruit men-at-arms, which were just straight up better than these ones that we have right now for siege units. That kind of thing makes me think, oh, we should just straight up always just wait as long as possible, because then we're going to have the best troops. Now, there is one argument for creating the men-at-arms early, and that's if we think that we're going to have somebody who's going to want our lands, like for instance our liege or, you know, Provence or something like that, right? If we think that somebody is about to attack us, having your men-at-arms already is kind of beneficial, because it allows you to have a higher troop count, and that's what the AI uses, I think, to determine whether they're going to attack you. If you have double their troops, they're pretty much unlikely to actually declare a war. So it's just something to think about. We don't need to worry about that right now, though, because our liege has enacted the policy of... where is it? Yes, this policy of high crown authority, which means that vassals cannot wage war against other vassals. So, I mean, that's not going to come up in any of our situations for a while, but anyway, it's something to think about. Talking about our culture, in a different sense, one thing I would like to do is I would like to merge our culture with another culture to create a Swiss culture. Now, how close to actual Swiss culture would be, I don't know. How close any of these cultures are to actual cultures, I don't know. But it would make sense for us to have a culture for our nation. It would also mean that everything that we make has like the right adjectives on it, and that would make it quite nice. And if we have a look, it's been suggested that potentially we could create a culture with some of the cultures down here in the Duchy of Savoy, because it's the other part of our nation. If we have a look over here, all of this is Swabian, like all of it. And then down here we have some French, we have some Cisalpine. So, you know, it would make sense to merge our culture with one of those. If not, to even merge our culture with one of those, wait 50 years and then merge it with the other one as well. Just to create, like, you know, a proper Swiss culture which makes sense for the area that we have. So, that's one idea. And it's something that I think we could do right now, actually. We are the cultural head, aren't we? We are. So if I wanted to, we could go here and we could say, actually, I'm going to form a hybrid culture with France, and then we create, you know, a new culture. So we'll think about that one. We'll put that one on the back burner, but it's definitely something to think about. Right. Another thing that we should do, which a couple of people have mentioned, is we should probably think about increasing development in our capital. Now, we haven't been doing this because money has been incredibly useful to us to have, and incredibly useful for us to have at a moment's notice. Over time, development is probably going to come out ahead of just getting more taxes, right? If we're planning on playing tall, we want all of our holdings to have as much development as possible, because it's just going to make the holdings better. If we go and have a look at development here, right now that's giving us 7% extra levies and 7% extra tax, so it's just improving the actual province. So it would make sense to increase development, especially if we create our own culture. Because if we create our own culture, like a Swiss culture, what would happen then is all of our holdings would be the same culture. These would likely be the only holdings with that culture, and we would have high development because we're constantly working on the development. And when we look at, hoping there's going to be a tooltip here somewhere. When we look at how quickly this goes up in progress, you'll see that it's average development of Swabian cultures, of counties even. So if the average development goes up, this is going to go much, much, much quicker. And if we have less land that actually has that culture, it's going to go up much, much, much quicker. You get the idea. So it's just something to think about, and I think that we're immediately going to do it. We're going to send you over to Bern, and then it's also going to decrease the cost of building there, not cost of building, the time of building, which means that we can do more buildings, which also makes sense. Really, what we should do is, if we're going to build up in each holding, we should probably move this around. Like, every time we decide we're going to build somewhere, we move it there until we built up everywhere, and then move it back to our capital. That's probably an idea. Right, is there anything else that we can change now that we aren't worried about holding together a realm, we aren't worried about expanding? Is there anything else that we can change? What's this one? Bestow royal favor. Okay, so we can get prestige per month and increase our vassals' prestige per month, and vassal opinion increases. Okay, interesting. So what's this one? This one also, this is direct vassal, this is vassal. Okay, so vassal must mean like your vassals plus the vassals below, while this one must mean like just the vassals that are directly below you. Okay. I'm just checking. Does direct vassal... Yeah, vassals that serve under you personally. Vassals of vassals are not included. Does this specifically say they are? It doesn't, but I'm assuming that that's what they mean. Otherwise, they would have said the same... Otherwise, they would have said a different thing, I'm sure. So basically, we have the option of doing domestic affairs, which increases direct vassal opinion up to 6 per month, and gives us a tyranny loss per month. And then we get a couple other things there. Or we can do bestow royal favor, which gets the same amount of vassal opinion, but also increases prestige for us. I actually think I like this one. There is a chance that you can worsen the feudal contract. I guess you can worsen the feudal contract on this one as well. Which case... Oh, wait. Oh, you can only do this to a single vassal. Ah, that's the difference. No, we're going to keep it on domestic affairs then. But if we wanted to just increase a single vassal's opinion of us, we could do that one. Okay. But this is actually made up slightly differently. So this is including our court grandeur. So if we were to increase our court grandeur, this would give a much bigger vassal opinion boost, which might change the calculation slightly. Okay, we'll leave that where it is for just now. What are you currently doing? You're currently supporting my schemes. I'd prefer if you disrupted schemes within my realm. I don't really want anybody scheming within my realm right now. If I decide to do a scheme, then, go support it. What's this one? Manage royal guards. So you can give us knight effectiveness, which goes up to 48%. Now, as we mentioned when we looked at our knights previously, that's a pretty big increase because each point of knight effectiveness effectively gives us 10 damage and 1 toughness. So if we're getting 48, that's what? 4,800 damage and 480 toughness, which is quite a lot, I would say. Yeah. I'm hoping I've done that calculation right. I think I have. So yeah, that would be good. So it's definitely something, if we go to war, that's definitely something we want. An enemy hostile scheme success chance decreases. So that's interesting. Oh, it also has a chance of improving your knights. Much like, this one gives commander, gains commander traits and knight improved. Or, hostile scheme disrupted and knight improved. That's interesting, actually. This one also gives us a chance of finding new commanders and knights as well, though, which is quite nice. And it does increase knight effectiveness, just not up to the same level. Yeah, this one's more beneficial if you've just got knights. If you've got knights and men-at-arms, then it starts to change slightly. But, I think I'm going to leave him where he is, much the same as the previous one. But if we go to war, right now, I'd be thinking this one would end up better. Although you have to decide it early. As in, you have to go, okay, I'm going to do this because I need to wait 24 months for it to actually get up to 48%. Although it says currently 24%. So I'm assuming it shares with this one then. Okay, cool. And then what have you got? You can fabricate a claim, or you can do religious relations. Well, I think you can just do religious relations. That seems fine to me. Right, so that's him sorted. We do have the ability to hold court now. We're second in line to inherit the Holy Roman Empire. I don't want it. Who's voting for me? Still Bohemia. Bohemia is voting for me. Vote strength 5. As is Prince Bishop Altfrid. Why? What? I don't want it. Who's currently in line? If I go back to the original screen, I think it showed us. First in line? What? I didn't want it, and having looked at the votes, it now says that we're first in line. What? That definitely said second in line. I really don't want to be the Holy Roman Empire Emperor. Is there a way once you get it to just say, like, actually, no, I don't want it? I wonder if we could just disband it. I mean, it would make a lot of people very unhappy, but I suppose I could do that. Surely there's nothing stopping me. Probably there's a prestige penalty, but anyway. Well, realm will lose land when a vassal dies. That's something to worry about. We should probably have a look at that as well. Too many held duchies. Okay, so this is another thing that we need to do. One thing we need to do is we need to look at our duchies and decide which one we're getting rid of. It's actually a very easy choice. We're getting rid of Savoy. But the reason why we have to do that is because now we're a prince level title, or kingdom tier title. People get mad if you hold more than 2 duchies. So we're going to have a powerful duke vassal over here, I think. And the reason I say over here is because we already control all the land in this bit, so it would make sense to do this one, because we hold none of the land there, so we wouldn't have to give away any land to go with it. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that first. Savoy. Do we have anybody in Savoy who we would want to give land to? Who's on our council? None of them currently are on our council. Whoever we put in is probably going to have a council position. This guy would like us if we did it. He holds most of the land in Savoy. This would make sense for him to have it. Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to give you the duchy. Right. we're going to give you the Duchy of Savoy. 2 vassals will be transferred. The faction he belongs to will lose some discontent, that's fine. And he gets opinion of us. There we go. And now we can maybe put him in as our spy master, because apparently our spy master held land in there. That's okay then. Yeah, we'll assign this guy as spy master. He now likes me at 100. That's fine. He doesn't like the absolute crown authority, but that's okay. He doesn't need to. He likes us for various other reasons. Right, so now we have him in that position. We're making slightly less money, I think, because instead of getting taxes from each individual person here, we're now only getting taxes from him, so we're kind of getting filtered taxes. Also, what's his vassal contract? Normal. Well, that's fine then, at least. Yeah. So he will pay us as much as he can. Okay, cool. What was that? Oh, the person who had land that would have left is no longer going to leave. That was because that was this guy, right? Yes, because he would have inherited Piedmont. But now, if he inherits that land, then it would come into our land because he's already a duke. Yes. While, if he was to die... Yeah, well, it's not even a case right now. If he dies, it doesn't even... Oh no, if he dies, it's still a problem, right? Because the primary heir is still you? Huh. Yeah, okay, no, this is still a problem. What would happen is, right now we fixed the issue if she died twice, or like if 2 people died. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm a little confused about this one, actually. I don't know what's changed. If he dies, and then his heir dies... No, okay. I'm going to start this again from basic principles. Sorry, I'm getting too confused and getting caught up here. Right. If he dies, then his heir is also her heir. So if he dies first, this person gets landed. She dies, that land enters Switzerland. If the opposite happens, and this person's already landed, so she dies, her heir holds the land, he dies, that would then come over here, and then she would control all of that, I think. Yeah, I think that's what would happen. Unless this is just recalculated something to do with our crown authority. Because our crown authority says that, where is it? Vassal titles cannot be inherited by characters outside the realm. Yeah, so maybe it's just recalculated that now that we gave him a new title. So it said, actually, no, it's not a problem because the vassal title is not allowed to leave the realm. So it would pass on to like the next heir. So instead of passing to this person, what would actually happen is... yeah, I was actually on the right screen. Instead of passing to him, it would actually bypass him and then pass to this daughter instead. That could be what it means. I'm not sure. Anyway. That's just something that we're going to find out when he dies, and then we invariably have to go to war to get the land back. Anyway, that's fine. Right, so that's sorted. We're somehow first in line to inherit the Holy Roman Empire, which I don't want. Anything else for us to do? I don't think there's anything immediately. Is there any of these that we want? Do we still have children growing up? We do. Now, I did read that for court tutors, if you assign them, like, just before a child... like actually gets an education trait, they do actually add a bonus. The same as if they die right before they're 16, no bonus at all will be given to the child. So we might as well put in a court tutor. You're excellent at the job. Perfect. So you're going to provide a big benefit to any of our children who finish their educations. Okay, that's fine. Are there any of the other ones here that we want to do? I don't think so. I think we're fine. Like, these ones I don't really care about right now. Royal Architect, maybe? Building construction time down? That would work pretty well, especially as we're already lowering building construction time in Bern. All of these people are bad at the job. Maybe I put in this guy. Makes him like us more. We get 10% off for 0.7 gold per month. Nah, that's not really worth it. That's fine. Anything else in here? Control growth we don't need. Cupbearer. A powerful agent and schemes against us, but can stop poison murder schemes. Don't think we need that. Don't need a jester. Don't need a musician. Don't need bodyguards. Don't need an executioner. At least not right now. Court artificer. You give court grandeur and there's a chance to become inspired. Okay, don't need that. Don't need that. Cool, I think we're fine. Right, talking about our royal court. I know we haven't unpaused the game in 20 minutes, but we're getting there. Right, talk about our royal court once we get rid of the message about the Kingdom of England in the top corner. That really gonna that shows up there 100% of the time. There we go. I found an area that doesn't have a tooltip popping up. There we go. So now we can enter this without a tooltip sitting in the top left. Right, so we have a court now, which means that we get to play decorate the court. Now, when I say that, what we basically get to do is we get to put up these house banners that give us prestige and renown per month, and increase our vassal limit and give us court grandeur, which seems good. So let's put up our house banner, which also reduces our building construction cost, which is quite nice. And then over here on this wall, I think we'll put our dynasty banner. Cool. There are other things that we could put up there, but we don't have any other artifacts, so that's fine. What's our court grandeur expected to be? I don't know. I think it just tells you if you're below what the court grandeur expects you to be is. Oh no, baseline 22. No, that's what our court grandeur will go back down to. I was trying to see if there's anything that says, like, here's what you're expected. Oh, there we go. This court is 2 levels above its expected court grandeur, which gives us a bonus. So we're expected to be... that must be it. That's the symbol. So we're expected to be court grandeur level 1. We're currently court grandeur level 3. So right now, we're kind of fine with our royal court. What benefits do we get? So for having a royal court with grandeur level 1, we get reduced building construction time and building construction cost, which is nice. We also get the Bestow Royal Favour Councillor task, which we already looked at. And we get the Manage Royal Guards Councillor task, which we already looked at. So we could spend extra money to make our court better. There's no reason to do this right now. Yeah, there's not really a great reason to do this right now. I mean, we would get benefits, but... yeah, I think I'm happy just leaving it where it is. We're currently an administrative court. Okay. So that's what's giving us these benefits. If we keep going up, development in the realm capital is really good. Vassal tax contribution won't matter very much because we don't have a lot of vassals. Then intrigue court gives you like a whole bunch of stuff for hostile schemes, and I don't need those. Cool. Court language is currently High German, which is the same as our liege. That seems fine. I mean, I think it's High German because we speak High German, I would assume. Where do we see languages spoken? Is that not usually on the left-hand side? Maybe it's only on the left-hand side if you speak more than one language. Yeah, so we must just speak our native language and that's it. Okay, cool. Right, we're almost ready to, well, I was going to say unpause, but we still got to hold court. Before we do that, I think we should have a look at our culture. So, culture. Currently, we are Swabian. I think the most sensible culture to merge with would be French. Reasons why? 1, acceptance is very high, and there is the culture of our vassal. So that makes a lot of sense to switch to it. So, what does French have? It's Chasson de Guest, which is what? It unlocks the valet's innovation in late medieval. There's more poets. Martial education traits are more valued. A bunch of other similar martial traits are more valued. Blade Master has additional bonuses. Craven and Content are looked down upon. That's not great for us because we are Craven. Knights are... wait, we are Craven, aren't we? No, that was the previous character. Walter is not Craven. That was Otto and Werner. Okay, we're actually absolutely fine. Okay, so that would be fine for us. Back over here. What else does it give us? Knights are slightly more prone to injury during battles, not ideal, and you may challenge rivals to single combat. Although, injury in battles is much more likely if you lose a battle, so if we just make sure you win battles, no problem. And it also increases the number of knights that we get. Hereditary hierarchy. So if you have a poor education trait, you're distrusted, and the loyal trait is more valued. Tyranny loss takes a long time to lose tyranny, but if you hold land for a long time, people are going to be a lot happier with you, and you're going to get more tax out of it, and castle holding construction cost goes down a lot, which is great. And then chivalry. Conspire against own knights in single combat to gain modifiers. Romance schemes give renown. Ooh, that's huge. It gives you a basically non-stop way to gain renown. That's really cool. Failing a romance gives stress, so there is a negative. Rulers are more likely to start the romance scheme, so just in general, there'll be more people romancing other people. And poet and gallant traits give significant romance scheme bonuses, and the poet trait is more common. Ooh, okay. And then you get heavy cavalry damage. We don't even have heavy cav available to us right now, but we have it. Also, you gain tyranny a lot quicker. So it seems a lot of the French traits are like gain a ton of you gain a lot of tyranny, and it takes a long time to burn off. But if you just don't get any tyranny, then you get a ton of bonuses for it. Great. I want to have a look at our culture, because we don't really look at it very often, so I think it's worth just knowing what we've got before we switch into something else. So the quarries line of buildings have additional bonuses. You gain prestige. I actually don't think we built a single quarry, but that's okay. Gain prestige when completing buildings and holdings with either mountain or desert mountain terrain. Oh, maybe do we actually have any holdings with mountain terrain? That is hills. Burn is plains. Plains. Mountains. So I could build a quarry here, right? Oh, I do have a quarry here. Okay. So I think the additional bonuses are like these really, really small bonuses, and maybe the building construction time one. Maybe that levy size one as well. I don't know. I don't know what's default, but like some of these small bonuses are likely to be the bonuses from the culture. I think for when we looked at cultures previously. Right. Okay. Development growth in mountain. Actually, you know how we could find out? There's a very easy way. What I need to do is find somewhere that's got terrain mountains. Can I have a look at this? Yeah, so these... Oh, wait. This probably has the same thing as mountain homes. Alright, I need to find somewhere with mountains that is... Yeah, has a different... Oh, you don't have any of the buildings. There you go. Oh, no, you're the same culture that gets bonuses from it. I just need to find somewhere that has it. So you're French. Perfect. So there you go. There's the addition. There's the original bonus, which is tax in the building construction time, and there's our bonus. So you get men-at-arms recruitment cost down, and then like these small maintenance cost downs, and then levy size 1%. So you don't get a ton of bonuses from it. So just in case it comes up and we may have to ditch it, like it's not that good. You get more development growth though in mountains and desert mountains, and it costs you a little less or a lot less for construction. Okay. Parochialism. So city holdings are better. Okay. That means nothing to us. Industrious. Gain 25 development growth when a building is constructed. Ooh, up to once a year. Oh. So is that per province, or is that like... Must be per province once a year. Or unless it means like overall. Yeah, that would make sense. So it also lowers your building construction time, but does raise your stress just overall. So I guess this would be one that we'd want to get rid of once we had finished all of our buildings, basically. Or if... Yeah, I don't know. Also, if you build a ton in a row, you're not getting like your full bonus from your development growth on that one. So it actually encourages weirdly building a little bit slower. Encourages like building, waiting a year, then building again. That's weird. Okay. French. Hybrid culture. So, first of all, we have to choose what our ethos is. So, what is it currently? Currently, our ethos is communal. So, same culture, mercenary hire cost is down, plus family opinion is up, and it also lowers building construction time and cost. Okay. So, merging with French. The other option would be title construction cost is down, don't care. Monthly prestige up, don't care. House opinion, it kind of matters. Court grandeur bonus is neat. Okay, I think I'm happy sticking with our one. So form hybrid culture. I'm quite happy with communal. I like the building construction time down. Oh, we also discover 4 French innovations. We get horseshoes, so movement speed. We can recruit armored horsemen, which are incredible. They would be great if we're going for like a small army that punches above its weight. We don't need very many of them, but they, like, individually, they're incredible. It would give us, I think, a very high quality of an army. I might be wrong about that. Hereditary rule can enact partition. Might be worth doing that. We should think about that as well. And counties now reach the maximum existing development penalty at 35 development. So it actually means that we can get our tech quicker. Okay, I like that. Acceptance will be 100%. We will also be the new cultural head, which would make sense. So do we want to be Central Germanic or Frankish? Well, yeah, you must pick something from each culture. Okay. So this one's interesting, actually. Because you would think that we want to be the same one as our liege, right? So we want to be Central Germanic for 20 cultural acceptance baseline. Actually, does that matter? I don't know. Let me go to my liege and have a look at how does he feel about me? He doesn't... Oh, cultural acceptance. Yeah, so I guess because our cultural acceptance is bad, it is actually affecting us. So if we were on a different one, he would like us less? Okay. The problem with that is that you have to give up something, right? And he definitely wouldn't like it if we don't speak... Or he likes it that we do speak his language. Doesn't he? Doesn't say that, actually. What if I go to somebody who isn't my liege? So, like you. I thought there was something with, like, speaks the same language. There are some benefits with it. If I arrange a marriage with him... Just check something. I'm sure I've seen language as a bonus in one of these somewhere. What if I choose my son and then, like, his daughter? Just seeing. Okay. And if I choose, like, randomly you... Arrange marriage between my son and... I was looking here. Nope, nothing. Okay, don't know where I saw it. I thought I saw it in the marriage accepted screen. But there are benefits from being the same cultural... Or from speaking the same language as someone else. Okay. But we have to give up something. We can't have the exact same one. So basically I have to decide which one of these I'm most willing to take the penalty on. I guess it would probably be language then, given that I can't find a negative of speaking a different language necessarily. I mean, it does give you that cultural acceptance baseline, but having the same heritage is much more impactful for that one. Yeah, so I guess we'll be communal, Central Germanic, and we'll speak Dioil Vulgar. Sure, let's do that. Also, quite clearly, we're going to match our... We're going to be like kind of light pinkish to match our actual land as well. Cool. And Swiss seems perfect. So name Swiss, collective noun Swiss, prefix Swiss. I think that autofilled, didn't it? Yeah. So this must be the default merging of these two cultures. We get all of them, which is great, which is why I wanted to go through the traditions, because I was fairly certain we'd get all of them, because we're allowed up to 7. Then aesthetics. So, continental Europe for military equipment is our only option. In terms of names, we'll have them both, so we'll have some French names and we'll have some Swabian names. We'll definitely have the architecture. In terms of fashion, these appear to be identical, so we'll have them both. And we can also choose what coats of arms we want. These appear to be identical, so you know what? We'll have them both. Cool. And I think we're happy with that. Done. So, new culture will be created. It costs us 900 prestige. We have a ton of prestige because we've just been building it. We gain 4 bits of tech. We're going to be Swiss. We're going to be communal Central Germanic. We're going to speak that language. Perfect. Let's form a hybrid culture. The Swiss hybridization. Spurred on by positive relations and increased cultural exchange, the Swabian and French peoples have grown increasingly close over the years. Now, individuals from these societies have begun to view themselves not as one or the other, but as both simultaneously, as a new Swiss culture. Swabian traditions and values form the backbone of this new culture, while various French attributes have been adapted and integrated to meet the needs of their new society. With the Swiss people now looking for guidance, it's time to set the stage for a shared future. So, we've now created the hybrid culture. One thing I just remembered though, do we need... Oh, no, we don't need to change all of our holdings. Just some of them. Some of them changed over automatically, some of them didn't. Okay. So we might actually, instead of raising development, we might want to go through and make everything change to our culture so that our cultural bonuses are applied to everything. That seems like a good idea, actually. So let's do that. Let's promote culture in places and get our culture everywhere. I usually don't bother, but given that we're trying to make our nation like as strong as it can be within these borders, it would make a lot of sense to just change the culture to like this culture everywhere. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Right. We have few knights, that's fine. And hopefully this will decrease our us being in line here. Maybe it'll make somebody dislike us slightly. Like, what language? Oh no, we don't even speak your language. Yeah, of course you would speak Czech. That would make a lot of sense. Okay, yes. So I was thinking like maybe it would make him dislike us because we might speak a different language, but no, actually, it doesn't at all. Okay, we have to do something this episode, so let's hold court. Let's go. As soon as it is his turn to speak, the agitated man in front of me screams, "The end is nigh! The signs are clear and everywhere. The people of the county of AlpaxLP know it all too well. Disorders, bandits, thieves, violence, and the disappearance of justice among men. The day of judgment is upon us. There is only one way for us to be saved. Burn all the infidels. Repent now, for the day is nigh." Okay, so is this a place I care about? Okay, so this is on our border. So this is someone who's not even within our land. It's talking about somewhere that's not within our lands. So we order this county to be cleansed of all sinners. Wait a second. This isn't my land. This is this dude's land, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, that just seems a bit rude. So we would lower the development in that province. Okay. Nonsense, burn this raving heretic. I mean, we could do that. Or take this fool out of my sight. Burning him gets us dread. I think I'm going to burn him. Land grants. An envoy from a provincial city, Mayor Gother of Chambéry, has come to protest the abuse his city has been suffering at the hand of its neighbour, Bishop Omery, under the protection of their liege, my spymaster, Duke Odon. They occupy and repossess our arable land by force and threaten the landowners with spiritual damnation and material violence to make them sell their belongings. I beg of you, my lord, do us justice. So I can say Omery is well within his rights. Okay. So that's his vassal. So I make his vassal like us. It makes Duke Odon like us. It makes this guy like us. The Archbishop of Switzerland. Okay. Who's unlanded currently. He just happens to be hanging around. But it would make Mayor Gothier dislike me slightly. And I gain piety. He is not above the law. Makes a bunch of people dislike me and I get title revocation reason and Odon. Or don't bother me with these local squabbles. Well, I'm going to side with my Duke. Yeah. Exhibiting Prince Walter's collection. My courtier, Philibert, approaches me with a spring in his step. My liege, Philibert says, full of excitement, I have a great idea that can bring you either money or fame. You've amassed quite the collection of artifacts, my lord, so why not put them on display? You could charge for viewing your collection, or for free, so that more people will view it. He clears his throat before continuing. People do have a tendency to want the things they see, so the downside might be that more people will try to claim your artifacts. So I can have a paid one, which gets us 3% monthly income and court grandeur bonus for 3 years. But hostile schemes will be more common. I can do a free one for prestige, but again, more common, or it's not worth inviting the risks. I don't want the risks. Cool. The court audience is ended. We've had our first official court, and I have to let time move on. If only so that when I look back on the episode, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a new episode, because the date's different in the bottom. So let's go. Learn language invalidated. I can no longer learn her language, I believe, because I have her language. Okay. Faction targeting us disbanded as well. And we got a court event. These used to crash the game if you didn't immediately deal with them, so I'm going to assume that they still do. Why would you honor that scullion Vero for position at court and not me? My son-in-law Mendo is livid. Apparently he had been certain that the honor would befall him and no one else. I can make him my high almoner. How much does that cost per month? 0.737? No, I don't care. Right. Maintaining a spy network across the realm on behalf of Kaiser Ordulf has its perks. I frequently discover things I'm not even looking for, evidence of Count Mariano's secret, for example. Okay, what's his secret? Ordulf can learn about his lover's secret, or I can learn about his lover's secret. I will tell Ordulf, why not? I don't care. Our councillor died, he's gout-ridden. Another event. Sigmund in despair. From my throne, I hear visceral cries of my son Sigmund and the sound of a struggle. Promptly bolting up and racing down the hallway, I skid to a stop when I see my courtier Vera restraining the poor lad with one arm and awkwardly clutching a book with the other. I barely have time to bark a demand for explanation when both begin blurting out their version of events. Sigmund refuses to allow me to read him my masterpiece on the art of stewardship, cries the tutor. I've heard this dreary book 1,000 times, Sigmund protests. It's so boring. So we can get closer to getting a rivalry with our son, but it will make Vera like us more. Okay, or I can do the opposite. Yeah, sure. Let's make our court tutor like me. I'm not really worried about my son's opinion. And then Marshal. You're really terrible at being a marshal, as are you. Which means that we couldn't put her into that position. It also means that our Prince Bishop over here is dead. We have a new Prince Bishop. Prince Bishop Gunzellen. With incredible learning. Insane learning. Not that you can do anything with it, but incredible learning. I'm just going to put in one of the best people. So you're my Chancellor currently? Sure, you can be my Marshal. Right. New Chancellor. Well, I could be my Steward, but that'd be a kind of a waste. Let's just put in Anno for just now. That seems fine. He can fill in the role. We might want to look for better people to be in our court, but that's not really a today thing to worry about. Speed it up. We're now fascinated by advanced bow making. Because I guess our previous fascination was invalidated because we probably already had it or something similar. Oh no, I was looking for heraldry. Oh, you know why it was invalidated? It's because we're a different culture. Of course. Let's maybe go for hoardings. We no longer need to get high partition. At least it's not that urgent. I also realized we should probably look at our succession, because what we could do is we could get rid of Confederate partition. Yes, I'm going to change Confederate to partition. Everyone's for it. They all approve, even though this guy doesn't like us. I guess because he's terrified, he will also just approve. That works for me. So what this one will do is it will split titles equally, but it won't create new titles. So we're going to change that law. And actually, I guess what the other thing I want to do is I want to destroy the duchy over here. So I want to destroy this duchy. And the reason we want to destroy it is because right now what will happen is it will give one duchy to each child, right? Yeah, so you get the first duchy, you get the second duchy, you get a county. If we destroy one of the duchies, it will do different things. It will just split the titles evenly. Yeah, that makes more sense. I'm going to destroy this duchy. Right. Which will have annoyed this guy slightly, I think. Yeah, destroyed liege title. But now, you get your titles. You just get that county, and then you get that county. So it's slightly different. I think in terms of land that we lose, it's the same, but it would mean that they're, instead of holding like all that land, this guy's still our vassal, basically. I think that's the one change it really makes. But yeah, ideally we'd like a succession law which is better, but there are only 2 succession laws which really are slightly better here. High partition is slightly better for us, but I don't really want that. House seniority is actually really good in theory if you're not worried about long reign, because all the land goes to the oldest eligible member of the house. This one's one that we could do, but the ones that we really want are over here. So primogenitor or ultimogenitor, which is all titles are either given to the first son or the last son, basically. Oldest child, youngest child. So this is the one we want, but we can't even get it until 2000 AD minimum. So that's where you have to, 1, have like 8 more tech than we have right now, and 2, it has to be 75 years in the future. So, you know, there's a long time till we get there, basically. Anyway, we have unpaused the game, at least a little bit. We've played a little bit, and hopefully when I reload for the next episode, we're no longer first in line, because I don't want it. I would love to be an elector, because then I could be like, no, vote for this guy. Vote for Magnus. Magnus should have the land. I don't want it. I don't want it at all. Is he still the only person voting for me? He is. No, wait. Total score of this candidate. I'm just checking. So maybe he's put me up for it, and then, yeah, he must have put me up for it, and then other people have voted for it. Yeah. I still don't want, like, surely, wait. Total score is 5. Total score is 4. Now we're second in line. What? Okay, that's interesting. So if you go to this screen, it updates when you hover over these things. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it where it is. Now we're second in line and we're much happier with life. Right, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.